So I couldn't help but notice as I was watching this week's X Factor that some of the singers, who were pretty phenomenal singers, don't get me wrong, tended to go quite flat on their top notes. And I just wanted to explain why that might be happening, so that if that's happening to you as well, you can understand the reasoning behind that. So a lot of these singers, well, obviously they're in a pressured environment, they're under a lot of stress singing in front of the judges. It gives you a bit of a tendency to want to try that little bit harder. And in trying that little bit harder, what was ending up happening was that a lot of these singers were just pushing on their voices a little bit too much. And you could see the warning signs coming as they were reaching and approaching those higher notes. Suddenly, the shape of their mouth was getting kind of wider and wider, more and more open. Now, the reason that's slightly problematic is that a more open vowel sound, a more open mouth, tends to pick up a little bit more weight in the voice, which is useful if you're singing the low notes and you want a little bit of weight in those low notes. But as you go higher and higher and higher, what ought to really be happening is that slowly but surely you begin to drop the weight as you go through there. So if you suddenly get to the top note and you widen everything out, what ends up happening is you suddenly pick up a whole load of weight in the voice, and that pulls the tone down, so you end up landing ever so slightly shy of the note that you're aiming for. And I saw at least 3 different singers in their auditions do that, and I'm not talking the people who they are clearly exploiting by bringing them in when they know that they don't stand a chance. I'm talking about the really talented, phenomenal singers that actually, when you're listening carefully, were going flat on the top notes. And I see that happening quite a lot, and actually we're so used to hearing that happen. Oftentimes our brains kind of interpret it for us. You know, we hear the flat note and our brains interpret it to be the actual note, and we just kind of we let them get away with it almost. But I'm a stickler. I don't let people get away with anything. So if this is happening to you at home, very, very simple trick that you can try when you're singing those notes. If the top notes are going a little bit flat, use a mirror. So use your mirror, and I want you to say the word that you're going to sing in the mirror to yourself, and I want you to see the shape your mouth makes. Now, if when you go to sing that note, that same word in the song, if suddenly it goes into a completely different shape, and I'm talking more this way than anything else, then that needs fixing. And so your goal is to try and sing it and make it look as similar to how you would speak it as you possibly can. So let's say, for example, the word is me. Now, when I say me, you can see my mouth doesn't widen out too much, me. But you often see people singing it, me. You see, it goes kind of like a little too heavy, a little bit shouty, me. And actually what ends up happening, if you listen carefully, is that they're singing the word may, not me. Me, it's all about me. Well, the word is me. So if you want to try and make it me, watch yourself in the mirror, me. It's all about me. And suddenly, that takes rid of all the weight, because you're no longer widening out and allowing that extra weight to come in. Try it.